And they treat us like this in jail.
Perfect job, man.
Y'all terrible, man.
Hey, what's up, Shell? Hey, look at you, man.
Jail is like dead time. You're just doing dead time.
Major Charlie the base. Open 201C, please.
Jail is just dead time. You're not doing nothing, but just staying in one area 24/7, all day, every day.
Idle man is the devil's workshop.
Only the strong survive, for real.
All you got to do in jail is just play cards, watch TV, and fight.
Who cares to admit defeat that they're powerless over alcohol and any other drug in the street?
Came to believe in a power greater than me. Let me the project hope where I'm able to see how things should be.
Restoring me the sanity of plan to greed.
True indeed.
It's about recovery. Them drugs that show no love to me.
So we meet 14 hours a day, that's 7 days of the week, and you can get a lot out of the program so it pays to speak. We got 44 inmates, that's 43 stories to preach.
And man's one went from drinking and drugging to step one in the program. Now I really know who I am.
And builds a man and puts us in touch with the ones that love us and help us learn how to live life without crushing.
We got 3 sanctions here that need to be addressed. And one is Fred with a negative attitude. He doesn't care about anybody. He's not trying to get involved in the program, and it's spreading. It's leaking throughout the whole program. I mean, I don't know what's going on with him. We might need to call him in there and speak to him and find out what's the problem with him.
We already talked to him before. Sorry about that. Have we talked to him before?
No, we haven't talked to him. We've been letting him slide, really.
He's doing his projects, you know what I'm saying, but he's participating, but what about he may be manipulating the program? You know, did you think about that?
You know, who knows an addict better than an addict? You know, all of us are addicts. We can't fool each other. You see, because we know each other.
The inmates don't run anything except themselves in that program. There's set criteria that they have to meet each day, and then there's set jail rules and regulations that they follow.
He might be going through some, you know, and we never know what's going on with anybody, so we need to give these people a chance to try to explain themselves why they act like they act.
He's showing aggression, you know, he's putting his fist up. You know, his attitude is just like he's intimidating people. So something must be going on with Sam that he doesn't want nobody to try him.
I give the inmates a lot of credit as well as their mental health staff for the way the program is developed. But when we started this, we didn't intend for it to develop the way it did. It just did, and that's that each pod has a 6-member leadership team that's selected by the inmates that keeps the program on track. I don't want anybody to think that the inmates are supervising the inmates, but they work together to keep the program going.
See, so I feel that, you know, his behavior is what's causing him problems today. And this aggression is going to cause problems later on in life. So what we need to do is we need to address it so it don't filter through the community neither.
I've never been with jail where we have NAAA meetings. You know, I've never been to jail where I can express the way I feel about myself and my actions and about my drug addiction, you know. Jail is completely different.
To date, we have fewer problems, very, very few, in any of these pods that are therapeutic communities. We've only had a couple of minor altercations, and in a jail setting, that's pretty rare.
They really talk about getting in touch with your core stuff, that inner child. And before, I didn't know that that exists. So now that I'm able to define what's going on inside of me, it's bringing me out. You know, I'm not more so like a monster anymore, reacting on a wounded child. You know, I look like an adult, but I was a child in actuality. And I'm making adult decisions with a child's instinct. But the program has brought the adult out of me.
I didn't have any direction. I didn't know if I was coming or going.
just using what I can use, you know, and anything I can get it, any way I can get it. Anybody I had to try to get it, to take from, I'll do it, you know, to get what I had to get, my drug.
God, grant us serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can.
This is not a give me program. This is not, this is something they have to work at. And the reason it works is because it gives the inmates something to do besides just sit here. And it gives them a goal to accomplish and achieve, and gives them a direction to go in. And so they actually do much better. The citizens should be well aware that this facility runs and runs well, has very few problems, and the therapeutic communities are the reason it has very few problems. There's a waiting list to get in here.
I'm Tony, I'm an alcoholic addict.
Hey, Tony.
I don't get it.
Thanks for sharing.
So,
My name's Eddie. Push the family up as a whole for sharing, especially during the peer group. And I got some pull-ups. One pull-up is for the whole family. If it don't apply, let it fly. And that's making sure you guys come to group on time, make sure them rooms are straight all the time, not only when we got visitors.
I seen the need for myself to be living with the new guys, because it brings me back to remembering that this disease is still waiting for me out there on the street, and nothing's changed. And that if I'm not ready when I get out there, I'm gonna repeat some of my old behaviors, and I'll end up right back in here again.
We're like brothers, you know. We pick each other up. We check into each other's feelings.
Addictions are a powerful thing, you know, to overcome by yourself. So I feel just like Rick. I feel I wasn't arrested so much this time. I feel I was rescued because of this drug program. It really has helped me, like Gregory said, with responsibilities. You know, I'm focusing on myself now. I'm listening to gentlemen who have been through things, you know, that I've been through.
You know, when you get the drugs and you clean up, all that stuff's out of your system, I start feeling the guilt and the shame. And I know that guilt and that shame sometimes kept me back out there using in a cycle. And I know that cycle has to be broken today, or I'm not going to be there for my family and for myself. And it perpetuates itself. So I'm grateful today for where I am. I was rescued and put here. And I can now work on those things. In most case scenarios, you come into jail, you sit, and you've just been let back into society, and you know you're going to end up back in here. With this program in force, you know, not only does it help the time go by faster, but it's just you're furthering yourself and you're bettering yourself. We're constantly able to not just go to programs, but get input from fellow inmates that are going through what you've gone through or worse. So you don't feel like you're some unique thing or unique person that's the only one going through this. Everyone's going through this nightmare, have gone through it, and they all eventually are moving towards hope and their future.
It's definitely a big life change for a lot of the inmates. It gives them an opportunity to learn about the substance abuse and what really is the problem. It gives them a chance to reflect on themselves. It gives them an opportunity to tie themselves into the community when they get out, so they have some resources on the outside.
Jail actually saved a lot of lives. I know it saved mine.
May the benefit of our coming together truly be a blessing to all beings through the blessing that it makes in our lives. I'm LaQuita.
Hey, LaQuita.
And this is going to be an open floor discussion today.
It's still jail. It's just a better jail, and you're doing something positive. It's still rough. We as ladies, we miss our families, we miss our children. This intense, ain't no free ride, because all of these women in here will tell you when you're doing something wrong, and if you don't abide by the rules, you have to go. It has helped me on so many levels. These women have helped me on so many levels, because it's such a diverse group of women. We all come from different backgrounds. We all had different families when we were growing up. We all been through different situations. Some of us been through a lot of tragedy. Some of us had real good childhoods. Some of us are very educated. Some of us are not. So that makes for an interesting day every day. You know what I mean? You can't not learn something here every day unless you don't want to. because everybody shares what they're going through. Some do it slow, some do it fast, some do it, but you take what you need, and what you don't, you just leave the rest behind.
Thanks for sharing. Hey, Keisha.
It feels good to wake up in the mornings and know I'm alive. There's times where I woke up and just wanted to die. I didn't want to wake up in the mornings before I came here. I mean, now I have that will to go on every day, and I never had that before, and this program gave that to me.
Who brought us here?
God, grant us the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
When you sit and dwell in an atmosphere like jails usually are, you're not going to better yourself as a person. If you're not doing something positive, I know myself personally, I sat and just moped and just wallowed in self-pity the whole time I sat in a cell and did nothing. So coming here, you don't do that here. All you do here, you focus on all the positive instead of the negative. So that's why I don't feel that, you don't go to jail, throw away the key, especially people with problems that need to be worked on, because it's not helping them at all. They're going to probably get out and do even worse things, because I know me personally, I probably would too.
If you look at other programs in the country and other programs in the jail, if you had 20 inmates in a group discussing a problem, you got to have a social worker in there with them. In this program, mental health supervises it, comes in and checks on it, makes sure it's going right, but a lot of work is done by the inmates themselves. And I think by the inmates doing the work themselves, they're doing the work and not the social worker that's sitting there leading it. And I think that's why this program is successful.
It's a concept that takes a little getting used to, but if you see that what's working traditionally in the past is not working, what's been going on in the past is not really working, then the only option would be to change. And this is a radical change for some people, but I think that it works quite well. And when you see the effect that it has, then you can see that, maybe this is the way things need to go.